The NuSpecian product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian's raw, plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
We are going to create our first medical practice, and we expect to have it open by October, November this year.
We always felt that there were limitations to how much we could support people because we could give them the best products in the world and they could still go home and eat whatever they ate that was harming their body. They could still go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, your labs are fine. Meanwhile, their labs show early signs of kidney failure,
right,
and they weren't told.
We see that now.
And so we're recommending a package that's geared toward your labs are fine. And meanwhile, they really needed something much more powerful and it got missed. And which is why over the years we evolved to reviewing labs and suggesting people go get certain tests, but then we're still limited to what their doctors are willing to do if they even can get an appointment with their doctor.
I had a gentleman who literally cried yesterday. He called to say that he's not feeling well, and he went to the doctor, did his blood tests. He got the results, and the doctor said everything is fine. Everything is fine. And he brought it to NuSpecian. I sat with them and went through his labs, and he had early stage kidney failure. His bun was bad. His bun creatinine ratio was bad. His creatinine was bad. His EGFR was bad. All 4 markers abnormal in his lab report, and his doctor said he was fine. And I said to him, your doctor really didn't say this to you? He said, no. And he cried. He cried because he couldn't believe that this doctor he loves for 10, 15 years, he's been going to this doctor and loved this doctor, that the doctor didn't say to him, there's something going on with your kidneys. So the doctor knew, and I know the doctor knew because the doctor told him to go home and drink more water. And that's what a lot of doctors do. You have initial kidney failure, our kidney are traveling toward chronic kidney failure, and the doctors will tell you to just go home and drink water. No, the reason why the doctors do that is because there is no pharmaceutical medication that will fix your kidneys once they fail. There's none. So the doctors are not going to engage you on these issues that they have no medication for. And that's part of the issue with a wide range of health issues people have that, cause their premature death. And we're going to try to help to address a lot of these issues. We have our own doctor. We're going to bring her on so you can ask her questions at some point in the future.
But if you want to get to know her, she's already made an appearance on the NuSpecian live show. Is Dr. Glanisha Nosworthy. She did a whole episode. She gave us about an hour and a half of her time talking about breast cancer awareness and teaching unique points that you don't typically hear during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Right. Even I was amazed at that presentation she did.
Yeah, she gave really, really unique examples and things that you should look out for and things that you should do to advocate for yourself with the doctors. And so that's a great introduction to Dr. Nosworthy just in her mindset. the best part about having her as the first doctor in the NuSpecian medical practice is that she worked for NuSpecian for a couple of years.
Yeah, a lot of you know her.
Before she went to med school. So you maybe already know her. We linked to a video of her on NuSpecian's homepage. Up in the slider, you can actually get to know her story about how she found out about NuSpecian and how we helped her mother. And, her whole family are clients of NuSpecian. So we believe that it's a great service to you. If you work with NuSpecian, it means you believe your body can rebuild itself. You believe that there is a life for you without disease. And you need your doctor to believe that too. And so we believe that is the unique perspective that the NuSpecian medical practice can provide, which is that you're working with a doctor who actually believes you can heal and wants to help you do that. We know the medical industry is absolutely necessary, and we know that nutrition is absolutely necessary, and we believe you deserve care that prioritizes both throughout the journey of your life, because every 5 to 10 years, all of our health changes and our needs change. And we believe you deserve medical care and nutritional care that can continue to adapt to your ongoing needs.
And we're living in a country that has the best medical system on the planet. And what we're going to try to do is get it to work for you. A lot of you believe it doesn't work for you because you don't have good doctors, who care, who have the empathy to give you what you need, and your family, your children. So we're going to try to help you bridge that gap. We will work with the medical system. We are not anti-medicine.
Right. Think about when, you have a loved one, or maybe some of you have gone through this yourself, if you have cancer and you're receiving treatment, before you go in for your infusion, they're checking your liver levels and, a blood panel to make sure your body's even strong enough to sustain the next treatment. So the medical industry is like, hey, can you even sustain this next treatment? But then NuSpecian is like, hey, how can we help keep your body strong so you can sustain the next treatment? So once you combine those two, it's the most powerful way to make sure you get the results you need. But there is a survey, and it's going to ask you a few quick questions to get a sense of what your ultimate needs are from a NuSpecian medical practice, how we would actually serve you in a unique or different way than what you already have access to. And we are also inviting you to let us know if you want to join us on a Zoom. It would be a one-on-one where we'd get more detailed feedback from you on what you'd actually be willing to pay for out of pocket if you knew you could get something truly unique, what you would only go through your insurance for, what insurances do you even use? Because if we're going to take insurance, we have to make sure that it works in the overall sustainability of the practice.
Right. And if you have, and not if you do have friends and family and coworkers and neighbors, if you want to engage them to give us feedback as well as to what their needs are. We want to do what you want. We want to do what will help you. We don't know everything. And that's why our community, our NuSpecian community, is so important. It is critically important. And that's why we're coming to you now to make this announcement that we need your help. We need your feedback. We need your support, because without you, it's not going to be as good as it could be. And we want it to be the best that it can be.
We know that you cheer us on all the time, but this is a case where we don't need you to be like, yeah, do it. We need you to say, hey, I'd be willing to open my wallet and pay for that service. That's right. What we need to know. And if you're not, tell us and why, so that we can make sure we provide services that will be helpful and valuable to you.
Right. We know what your nutritional needs are. We know what your NuSpecian needs are. Now we want to know what your medical needs are, so we can merge both the NuSpecian and your medical needs. And a lot of you I have talked to, worked with over the years, and I know you're a struggle, and you're probably thinking, oh, I still know what I need. No, I want you to tell me again. You probably told me 1,000 times before. I want you to tell it to me again, and tell it to me in writing.
And also, for those of you who've been with us for a while and know that we've had an MD in the past, we've had naturopathic doctors in the past, this is not the same. Those were employees of NuSpecian Nutrition. They were working under the capacity of helping you with your NuSpecian nutritional packages.
Right.
They were not acting as medical doctors. This is a true medical practice. It's a separate organization from NuSpecian nutritional products, and this doctor will actually, you could make her your primary care physician.
If you want.
If you want, you could tell your insurance, this is my new PCP. So it's official like that. So that's why we really do need as much information from you as possible.
Yes. This is very important for me personally, because it goes back to the beginning of why I created and invented NuSpecian. My father, he was early diagnosed with prostate cancer, and one of the best doctors, prostate doctors, urologist, told him he was going to be fine, just do surgery, and radiation would be precautionary. And, a few years later, he was dead, because about after a year or so, the cancer came back, as they say, with a vengeance. It was in his bone, his liver, his lung, his brain. It was just devastating. And then, when I think about it over the years, I thought about how he had no monitoring. So he did the surgery, he did the radiation. He didn't get the medical monitoring that I see people get, people need, especially after you get diagnosed with cancer. You do treatments, you want to get a blood test every 4 months, every 3 months. You don't want to get restricted by insurance companies telling you that, oh, you have to wait 6 months, you want to wait a year. Well, my dad waited a year, and then a year later, he thought he would have been even better from the surgery and the radiation. A year later, the cancer had spread through his body and he was dying. And who knows, if he had done medical monitoring of his situation. And my mother went through the same thing with her complication of diabetes. She died of it as well. So I'm speaking very personal now, and I'm shivering on the inside, because over the years doing NuSpecian, I see so many of you who go through the same thing. And it's not that doctors are bad. It's not that the medical system is bad. It's just that doctors and are humans, and the medical system is run by humans, and humans come with their sensibilities, whatever it is, negative or positive, and you all face it when you're sick, and a lot of you just don't get good care. So we have been talking about having a way to give people a more comprehensive health support. NuSpecian works extremely well, but some people do need medication, because medication have chronic side effects. Medication can cause the conditions to get worse. Their chemo and radiation can make cancer worse, because those two medications by themselves destroy the immune system. So people who are using those, they need medical monitoring on a regular basis. You all need it. You have chronic high blood pressure, chronic diabetes, chronic cholesterol, heart disease, kidney disease. You can't wait 6 months or 1 year to find out that you're dying, right? So that's what I see with a lot of you, and a lot of you who bring your relatives to me, your parents, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters who died. A lot of them shouldn't have died if they got good medical monitoring and good medical care, and they didn't get it. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So this is LNU1, and it's 16 ounces, and it's $130. I could make it way less potent, and you buy it for only $30, $20. Would it work? Probably not. So yes, we can make it cheap, but it wouldn't work. So that's what you can use to relate to all the NuSpecian formulas, that we can make them less expensive, but they won't work because we did it before. We tried it before. In the early days of New Species, we did, and they just didn't work as well. So we have to make them more potent, more concentrated. We had to add more plants or herbs or green food, whole foods to them so they work better. And that's why we're at a point now where we're confident about our formulas that they're doing what they should do for all of you. Doesn't matter how sick you are, they're doing what they should do for all of you.
And actually, for those of you who might be grumbling about price, we did call your bluff on this way long ago. And we had a competitor who was like copying everything we did and was trying to present their products as if it was the same as ours. And so we said, all right, well, we'll just put the same thing. We'll put a little bit of alfalfa, some garlic, and some B vitamins in here at the quality that we do. We'll sell it for the same price they're selling it for.
$40.
And you can have it. And nobody wanted it. So we went back to doing what we do. So if you really want to test if something less powerful can help you, just take a teaspoon of LNU1, make it last for 3 months, and maybe you'll get results. And then you're saving money.
A lot of people, when they see their doctors use all these medical terms that they don't understand, and then they walk away completely confused or frozen as to what to do or what not to do.
You know, I know with doctors, and I've experienced this a lot with my parents, is that they can sometimes get impatient when you do actually start advocating for yourself and asking a lot of questions, because in their mind, well, you know, what do you want to die? Well, you should just do it. You know, they can get really impatient and insensitive. But I say ignore that. Just pretend like they're not acting that way and ask questions. If you have concerns, open-ended questions could be something like, you know, what is the range of results that you have seen with your patients who are like me? What is worst case scenario? What's best case scenario? How likely are each of those to happen? So if you ask like broad questions like that, they're not going to think that you consulted Dr. Google and that you're now just putting everything you saw on Google at them, because that definitely could make a doctor more impatient. But keeping it open and trying to understand what's the range of possibility so that you can decide what makes you comfortable. If they seem impatient with that, I would just ignore it and keep asking questions. It's their job, and they don't always have a lot of time, but when it comes to making a big decision like that, you absolutely should keep asking until you're comfortable.
And I know a lot of you are very intimidated. You know, the doctors can be very intimidating, some doctors. You have to psych yourself up when you meet with your doctors, and you got to tell yourselves that this is life or death, or this can be life or death for me or for my relative. So whatever shyness you may have, whatever inhibitions you may have, you have to climb over them and insist with your doctor very respectfully that you just need to understand, you know, what's going on, so you can take care of yourself if it's you, or if it's a family member or a friend, so you can assist appropriately or as much as possible your family member or your friend. Mm-hmm. So you have to just psych yourself up, and yes, you think, you know, the doctor may be abusive by talking down to you or talking over you. You have to just suck it up, because again, it's life or death for you or your relatives.
Right.
And as Jill says, if you're not happy with your doctor, what do you do when you go to the store and buy a pair of shoes and you wear it and it squeezes you? Do you keep wearing the shoes, burning your feet, or you take it back and get a different one? Same thing with doctors. Change them out.
This is a temporary package while your body is rebuilding. So this is not something you're going to stay on forever. You just need to make that initial investment to help your body do the work, build up that momentum, get the fixing going. And then once you have, because your doctor's probably monitoring these things regularly, so once you have the evidence that it has gone away or it's getting better, you can then think about adjusting your package down to maintenance. So ideally, all of our clients would just be taking B vitamins and mineral complex and maybe vitamin D on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And most of that lasts 3 months. So very, very affordable to stay on NuSpecian every single day. But when you have a major health issue that has developed in your body, right? It's not something you just caught from the outside. It's developed over many years. You need to give your body what it needs to fix it. And so we, Aston could have figured out how to invent products that were cheap, but then didn't work, rather than saying, okay, well, this is going to cost a bit, but it's actually going to work. And that's what people want anyway, right?